Yeah. Gotta get their fast shot. Yeah. Gotta get their fast shot.
Hello Britball Nation and welcome to the Power Rankings for Division 1 following an intriguing weekend of Uniball in Week 3. The middle tier is easily the hardest for us to select a top 10 from, as a lot of the top teams are running each other close while many conference favourites are yet to meet. As such, there's a lot of teams that coulda, shoulda, woulda made the rankings but have missed out, so if you disagree with our selections, make sure you let us know. As ever, we really want to use DC as a platform to grow the game and believe the way to do this is to ensure we're helping you and your teammates reach as wide an audience as possible. As such, make sure you're filming your games and then on top of that, ensure you're hassling your coaches and committees to send in some highlights, or even lowlights, so that we're able to show the wider sporting community the depth and breadth of the Britball Nation. That said, let's jump into it. Let's get the nasty bits out of the way first. The Pirates sink out of the power rankings after being shut out against Imperial. With the Pythons coming up on Sunday, we don't expect life to get easier for the Norwich side. Solent are similarly cut, but more on account of being leapfrogged rather than any real failings on their part, and join a range of 1-on-1 teams sat on the edge of our rankings and worthy of honourable mentions after a combo of strong wins over mid-tier opponents and disappointing losses against top dogs. This includes the likes of the Falcons, Immortals, Sabres and Leeds Carnegie.
10.
The Demons make their power rankings debut off the back of a confident victory over newly promoted Oxford Lancers. Despite running a rather threadbare offense with a worryingly depleted backfield for so early in the season, the Demons dominated the game clock and drew the Lancers D in close enough to take shots over the top for 3 scores to their Australian wideout Matt Owen. No game for the Demons this weekend, so their time in the rankings might be brief if the results don't go their way, but a strong performance against Solent in Week 5 should see them climbing the ladder.
9.
Glasgow are perfect at 2-0, but their victories have been narrow and they are overshadowed by an impressive start to the season from their new conference rivals, the Hull Sharks. No game this week, so they'll need to dig their claws in to stay in the rankings, but their Week 5 fixture against Newcastle should tell us a lot about the shape of the 1A North.
8.
Pythons are perfect following Week 3 thanks to a narrow 15-14 victory over Kent Falcons. The Pythons had a rough year through 15-16 but have opened their new season with confidence and a clear belief in their potential, coming from behind to pip Kent to the post on Sunday. Traditionally the Pythons are a team that improves as the season goes on due to the gradual addition of US imports that their prestigious parent institution affords them, so this strong start to the season has promising implications for the Pythons.
7.
The Rams finally split apart from the Warriors in our rankings courtesy of the two going head to head on Saturday. Despite UClan having a narrow single score lead going into the half, the Warriors came back in the second and went a point further when their PAT threaded the uprights. There's been a fair amount of controversy coming out of this fixture, but whichever way you see it, it was a hard fought contest decided by just a single point, and this justifies our previous choice to tie the two together in the rankings, but ultimately a Rams loss sees them slide while the Warriors rise.
6.
The Destroyers are well anchored in the power rankings and had a great chance to continue their surprise domination of the 1A South as they take on a 1-on-1 Reading Knights who crumpled in the second half against the Sussex Saxons on Sunday. One people want to win, and comfortably, as they themselves face the Saxons the following week and could therefore go into the break a perfect 4-0 having taken a win from each of their conference rivals.
5.
Wolves cling on to the upper half of our rankings and don't take the field again until Week 5, where we'll see whether they have enough bite to take on the Student Scholars of Nottingham.
4.
Cobra slide a spot courtesy of another team on the rise, and this weekend welcomed their long-time rivals, the UB Bullets, to Clan Rumney. These two teams have torn chunks out of one another over the years, but so far this season the Bullets have been firing blanks. There's a lot of pride in the line in this fixture, and a big win, maybe a burger from the Cobras, should see them rise into a top 3 position once again.
3.
It's not uncommon for Britball teams that receive promotion to the top tier before they are really ready to require a number of seasons to recover from the damage that an 0-8 year against top flight teams can do to a programme. Morale drops, injury counts rise, and despite dropping down a tier, former Premiership teams can still find it tough to break their losing skid. Not so for Hallam, who start the year perfect and proven that they can win big with their shutout of Carnegie, and that they can win tough as they ground out a victory against a Rams team that hadn't lost at home for a long time. We get a Steel Bowl preview this weekend as the Warriors take on the Sabres, who themselves started their season with a shaky performance against Carnegie, but will be coming into this matchup hot off the back of screwing some Barneys in their 32-diddly defeat of the Tyrants. This should be a great matchup and tell us yet more about what looks to be one of the most competitive conferences in Division 1.
2.
The Sharks continued to impress. They took their time getting into a rhythm on offense and indeed required the D to kickstart things, but once they got going, veteran quarterback Sam Folds and the rest of the Sharks were hard to stop. And this was despite going up against a Sunderland side that, even though they finished 4th in the conference last year, actually boasted a fairly solid D and held Glasgow to a single score in Week 1. The Sharks get a visit from the Mustangs this week, and with the Mustangs already shipping more than 35 points in each of their opening 2 fixtures, we're laying down the gauntlet.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
We're going to be very disappointed if we don't get to bust out the burger graphic for you this weekend.
1.
And of course Nottingham stay nestled in the number 1 spot. They welcomed the Worcester Royals to the David Ross Sports Village on Sunday, and with the Royals shipping over 30 points a game so far, we're going to be looking for Nottingham to put up their first burger of the season as they come into the game fresh, while the Royals game against the Fury this past weekend took its toll and has left them thin in key areas. As ever, we're really waiting for the Week 5 clash against the Wolves to get a true taste of Nottingham's ability this year. So what do you think, nation? A little bit of controversy in this week's rankings? Remember, if you like this video, let us know by hitting that like button, and if you want to see more like this, make sure you smack that subscribe button. Remember to submit your own video highlights, both for our power rankings but also our other content, and as always, play hard, play safe, and go check out our scoop of week 3 of Britball, where we cover everything from the whole weekend of Britball in under 10 minutes.